Steve, did you spend the night down here? Good to see you this morning. T-Rex, looking really nice outside. Let me just put your lines on. Cat on a string, as one of the viewers said some time ago. And the dog on a leash. 1, 2, 3, and out the door. On this really pretty Wednesday morning. Steve, come on. It's July 30th, just a couple of days away from August. And there he is. Slowly he walks out into the grass. The atmosphere decoupled last night. That means it went calm. Temperature 75. It's actually pretty comfortable. I'm in my bare feet with my noise canceling. No, not my noise canceling mic, my iPhone mic. There's a tiny bit of dew in the grass. So we were fortunate last night with a mostly clear sky and light wind. We had some radiational cooling, making it a lot more comfortable this morning. And there's actually a weak front right over us. Talked about it yesterday, but here's the regional roundup from, what was it, about 7 o'clock, I think, opened my eyes. And it was nice to see the 50s are returning as far south as Plymouth, New Hampshire. Temperature and dew point in the 50s, so there's patchy fog and dew around. In Boston, still close to 80, what was it, about 79? And the dew point in the mid-60s with a light breeze from the north-northeast. It's still quite sticky from Connecticut to Cape Cod. Dew points are in the 70s, low 70s. Those are the blue numbers. But the air is coming in from the northeast a little bit. So I don't know with this kind of an onshore flow whether we'll make 90 degrees in Boston today. Yesterday, record-breaking 99 degrees. The old record was 97 from 1933. And the record on Blue Hill also 97. I'm not sure if that one got broken or not, but Blue Hill is the place I really like to use the records, because that's the only place the thermometer has not really moved. Concord, New Hampshire, though, the thermometer's been in the same place for, I think, a pretty long time. And so a lot of 90s yesterday. Here are the high temperatures from yesterday. Sizzling. Second hottest day of the year behind, what was it, June 24th? A lot of 90s. Cape Cod in the 90s. Nantucket. Oh, were you cold on Nantucket? Bruce and Martin, it was only 81 degrees. And you're going to get a nor'easter on Nantucket on Friday. We're all going to get a nor'easter in southern New England on Friday. Will they call it a nor'easter? Will anyone besides me call it a nor'easter? Well, last night, the earth shook. We talk about the ring of fire here in the United States with thunderstorms around the heat. And that is happening a bit today, but in geological sense, the ring of fire is the Pacific plate, surrounded by all the different tectonic plates in North America and Asia and Russia. And the Earth moved last night, an 8.7, 8.8 magnitude quake on Kamchatka Peninsula. Not sure if I pronounced that right. Very close to the border with the United States there, off the Aleutian Islands in the North Pacific. A tsunami warning was issued, and from what I can see so far, looking around, it looks like Japan was hit by a significant tsunami, but it was no Banda Achi. In Hawaii, they were prepared, but nothing really happened, maybe a few inches, and the water level gauge in Los Angeles spiked about a foot last night. There's the gauge, and so a tsunami did reach North America. But mostly a spectacle, and so far as I know, no significant damage. Of course, damage would be in Russia, near the center of that epicenter, but it looks like it was not too populated in that area too. But the earth is shaking, the ground is quaking. Waves of energy from space, waves of energy from the center of the earth, waves of energy from a boat that went by a little while ago. I saw Andrew over there a few minutes ago. And surprisingly, the Big Dig is quiet right now. Oh, quiet, Tim. You didn't even notice an excavator in your own backyard. So we haven't had, I don't know what's going on next. Someone's asked for time lapse. I'll try and get more time lapse if anything interesting happens today, but obviously things happen that I'm not sure of. So that excavator actually came up that ramp around the end and in this way. So they just needed another access to get up here on the side of the hill as the concourse gets built, and the hill's too steep. All right, let's do the weather. Today is race day. I would assume because it's the last Wednesday of July that you have some kind of a series, big race tonight for points. Is that right, Kevin? And the wind today is light on shore, so a sea breeze is going to develop. Here is the wind forecast from the NAM, and you have just a light wind from the west coming all the way down the Massachusetts Turnpike until about Route 95, and then you have air from the southeast right along the water. We have a light synoptic scale enhanced sea breeze with high pressure building to our north. So I'd say you're going to stop at about 7 o'clock. It looks like you're kind of in the doldrums there, maybe southeast at 6 knots, if that. So light winds, very pretty, and the fact that we have the light wind from the west over the land and the late southeast wind means we may have a sea breeze front, and there is a possibility for a thunderstorm pretty much anywhere in New England today. Let's look at the Ring of Fire lightning map. It's not exactly a ring, but you have Iowa, intense lightning this morning. You have some lightning near the coast of Mississippi. You have some lightning near the coast of North Carolina. So that would be our ring of fire around thunderstorms surrounding the extreme heat, which goes on again today. There's the radar showing that real heavy weather coming out of Iowa. Hit again. How many mornings have we mentioned Iowa? 3 weeks ago, it was Pennsylvania and Virginia every day, and that'll come back probably tomorrow. But now it's Iowa. Advisories, watches, and warnings. And you have extreme heat continuing today from southern Illinois to Mississippi. And you have the flooding right on the northern edge of that heat in Iowa. There's been some flash flooding. And in New England, you have the heat advisory just hanging on in southern New England. Much more comfortable day today. In Minnesota and Wisconsin, air quality alert for thick smoke from the Canada wildfires coming down with the cold front out of the Midwest, and that smoke may try and come in our sky the next couple of days. Here's the satellite image this morning. New England has a little bit of smoke and a couple of clouds near the south coast, some clouds in northern New England, 2 very weak fronts for now, but that's a monstrous looking cloud coming across. Looks like a Trojan helmet, doesn't it? USC Trojan helmet coming across Michigan, and that's the system that's going to be a wave on a front coming at us tomorrow night and Friday. The Severe Storm Prediction Center says we are in a marginal risk for severe weather today. If we do get any thunderstorms, they're going to be few and far between, but they could contain damaging wind. Yesterday, the thunderstorms in Nebraska into Iowa generated winds of 75 miles an hour in Bridgewater, South Dakota. Yeah, so that's the northern edge of the heat. All right, Steve. No, there's baby bunnies in there. Steve, those baby bunnies are to be left alone, okay? Well, hawks will eat them. I'm kidding. No, kidding, not kidding. While I'm down here thinking of nature, I was out here last evening and I thought to myself, crickets. I hear crickets. And I was wondering, is that the first time I've heard crickets this season? And yes, it is. Our naturalist in New Hampshire, Eric, told all this folklore, what his mom said about crickets, and deep thoughts by Eric talking about the crickets. He says that means 6 weeks until frost. So I had to do a little Googling. The crickets' mating season is in late summer. So those are mating calls from the crickets. And we'll get some cricket sound soon enough. Back to the weather, Tim. The NAM high resolution. I'm going to back over here a little so you can hear me better and sit in this very comfortable chair. And I'll watch T-Rex while you watch the NAM high res, showing where the precipitation may be. And there's some in northern Maine that was there to start the day. And also in Connecticut. That's the best chance for a thunderstorm there, and the hottest weather there in Connecticut. But I think we're all going to be vulnerable to perhaps a brief passing strong to severe thunderstorm. Today is mostly dry, and those thickness numbers are coming down. 570 to 576 is pushing to the south. We see the 564 and the 558 north, so we have a thermal packing getting tightened over New England, and it looks like as the cooler air comes in the next 2 days, not that much thunderstorm activity, because it looks like most of the action is going to come in now tomorrow night as a wave on a front. The front will have settled south of us, so we're going to be in the cooler air here, and the wind is going to pick up from the east and northeast, almost a summertime nor'easter here on Friday morning. Low pressure is going to go south of Long Island, so when the heat is shut off, you get the rain without the thunder, but you can get flooding rain. We've been talking about it for a week now. The Euro has had it, but the NAM says, no, I don't think it's going to be flooding, not in New England. Here's the NAM QPF, quantitative precipitation forecast, and it shows the smattering of precipitation today, mostly in Connecticut and Maine, and then not a lot going on. Then tomorrow is our Thursday, and you still have some chance of thunderstorms as the heat's still in Connecticut. And then really the cool air is going to take over, and at the Canadian border it looks really nice. Temperature will be in the 70s, the sun will be out, not much going on, but that rain is heavy coming across, especially Pennsylvania, New Jersey, southern New York, and southern New England. This goes out now till 2 p.m. on Friday, and it will still be raining, so it's not the end, but it doesn't show any significant flood type rains in New England. It shows maybe an inch or better in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire. That one's been shifting south here in the NAM, and it shows the flooding would be over northern Pennsylvania into New Jersey with 4 to 6 inches of rain. And I say that this is a moving target, and I think that southern New England is vulnerable. That heat we had there the first week of July ended with flooding in my town, and only while Quincy and Braintree and Weymouth were so hard hit. That was 2 days after that last heat wave, and of course that was a Thursday, and tomorrow's a Thursday and Friday, so we've had this weather rhythm going on. I say Tuesdays are good if you can get them, because they've been the best weather of the week all year long, and Thursdays and Fridays have been the worst. Oh yeah, and from the breaking news department, it might not rain anywhere in New England this weekend. I don't think that's happened, well, for Burlington, Vermont. There's been a trace of rain at least every weekend, every week so far this year. So that streak may end, Josh, up in Montgomery. Looking like a really nice weekend. I skipped over the Boston meteogram quickly here. The Euro is now less wet than the GFS. The GFS wasn't even showing any rain for tomorrow. Now the Euro, or tomorrow night into Friday, and now the Euro says we don't get to 90 today. The dew point's not that bad. Tomorrow we barely get into the lower 80s before the sort of almost backdoor front comes in here, and rain develops late in the day, probably mostly at night. And then the temperature and the dew point, they're both in the 60s on Friday. So record low, high temperatures maybe, and it doesn't show that much rain. The GFS now has a couple inches of rain, where the Euro has less than an inch. And then that's for only 1 point though, that's for Boston. And then the 73 on Saturday here, almost chilly out, and record cold possible where it does decouple inland on Saturday morning. But it's a beautiful weekend. Temperatures back to 80 on Sunday, and then it kind of looks fairly quiet into next week, but we'll see about that. There's always something going on that we don't see so well in these meteograms. Now let's go to the Euro day by day, and you know what? I don't think I even looked at it, so I'm gonna have to tell you what I think it is. I was so busy looking at earthquakes and Googling chipmunks. I mean, not chipmunks. I'm thinking of chipmunks. Steve's over there probably having one. Crickets. Crickets, that's what you hear from TK's brain right now when he says he's going to play the Euro. So I'm going to just tell you how I think it looks. I think we have a front over New England today, and I think the bully in the room now is a high pressure system coming in out of Canada, which would bring us smoke for tomorrow and Friday, but instead it's going to bring us clouds, because the warm to hot air is not that far south, and the cold air is going to initially undermine the warmth with overrunning heavy rain across New York, Pennsylvania, and southern New England tomorrow into Friday. It's looking like a nor'easter. I wonder if the National Hurricane Center will try and ramp it up, because the UK model actually had wind of 50 miles an hour near eastern Massachusetts on Saturday morning. and that pulls out, and we are left with a nice weekend. High pressure is not centered right over us. The high pressure center looks like it's more to our west, but I think it is close enough that radiational cooling will get some spots in northern New England to the 30s and low 40s, like we did with the last cold high pressure system about, 8 days ago. And then that high is going to get over us and move south of us, and the heat is really not turning off. I think we still see the 582 over the central plains. And so we're going to watch waves of energy looking like they want to stay off the mid-Atlantic. Will those be tropical in nature? Not sure. And then we probably have that cold front still coming at us on Tuesday with a chance of showers and a reinforcement of air from Canada and probably smoke here about next Wednesday and Thursday. And now the 7-day goes out to Friday on August 8th, the 9-day. And I would think what it shows is another front right over us with rain in New England because it's a Thursday and a Friday. And yesterday I mentioned there was something tropical in nature coming out of the Bahamas and Florida, so we will slide south here a little bit, and my guess is that there's a tropical looking wave over Florida and maybe even something off North Carolina, and we would be in the cooler and drier air on the backside of whatever's coming our way next Thursday, Friday. How was that? That was just a guess. Planes are taking off to the east again. You know what that means. The air at Logan Airport is coming in from the east. We talk about this so often. Not much air, but that means the heat wave, well, it's not even a heat wave for Boston because Boston only had 2 days of 90 plus. But for most of inland, central and southern New England, today is day 3 of the 4th heat wave of 2025. And only one of them lasted more than 3 days. That was the one in June. And that's it. 16 minutes, Tim. Are you kidding me? Where's Steve? Where's the call? And more yesterday. Kind of keeping an eye on the workers, making sure no one's falling down in the heat. And keep an eye on you today, too. There's still a heat advisory, but it's nowhere near as bad as yesterday. So what are they doing? They're going to try and weed out. Oh, you know what I think they're doing over here? They're making room for new boulders. We're going to get rocks on this side of the wall also. And when those start happening, you will get a time lapse from me. And they're probably, I don't know what they're doing. You guys are Adam, what's going on down there? All right, so the more yesterday, just watching the heat and grateful that I had some indoor work yesterday. Sunset with Steve and Mitt. So we're going to have a Mitt sighting or two. And where is Steve? Steve is in these bushes right now. If you have a rabbit in your mouth, Steve, come out here. It's like fishing. Do you have a rabbit? Nope, you do not. I'm sure the rabbit's shaking. Oh, the rabbit's gone. All right. Cabbage butterfly, come on, pause. I still haven't gotten a monarch. You gotta trust me when I say that the monarchs are around. And the crickets are around. Maybe we'll get crickets and monarchs tomorrow, and maybe a time lapse if they start bringing the boulders in. There's the butterfly. He stopped for a second. Oh, keep going. All right. And more from yesterday. Lori, you say I can eat purslane? I just Googled it, and I think I'm gonna maybe give it a try. And then Bruce says, we want a time lapse of the Big Dig at least once a week. Sally agrees. Well, it's high tide now, so I don't think we're going to get much of a time lapse. Let's see what they're doing, though. 1 o'clock. Decent number of people at the beach here. So they built that little road there. We'll see the water come up over it. They're not doing much as far as the revetment goes right now, so no time lapse for that. The form guys all move so fast, that time lapse is going to be worth something. I'm going to go to the things I can attend to, and then they may be working on the revetment around the corner. But I hear your requests. Take it under advisement. More time lapse. Thought maybe I did too many already. And we are passing 90 degrees here in the shade on the north side of the house. So now I have a new respect for the purslane. I can eat it, huh? Shall I let it go? Ah, it's hot. Just can't focus. I think because the phone was in the air conditioning and now I'm out in the hot weather, it just won't focus. Oh well. Purslane. You can do the time lapse of the purslane growing. Basil. Update from indoors. Cat nap haven. Looking outdoors. Tuesdays are good if you can get them. I talk about that because the weather's been so nice on Tuesdays, but we passed 97 in the last hour at Logan Airport. Second hottest day of 2025. Record-breaking heat. Boston being one of the warmest spots when the wind is from the west, as it is today. Happy to report concrete form crew has called it a day. Looks like they were at a natural ending point right there anyway. Got done what they wanted to get done. Partitions ready to pour concrete again. Probably see the trucks and pumps tomorrow. And the beach. A lot of people put their toes in the water. Check our thermometer. Still in the shade. Shows about 92 or 3. So our backyard's gonna keep getting hotter. Maximum heating now through about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I would guess.
All right,
hey,
so.
See some action over there. Should go down there and get a closer look. Woohoo! It's too long a walk. Should I walk down there? Oh, maybe I will. 5:30. Just heard some osprey. Got some cumulus clouds. A few boats here and there, but this is where we come in the winter, and it's so crowded. Not too crowded now. Some nice boats, and I saw some people doing some water sports that look pretty interesting over here, so let's see if I can catch them. All right, so you get the Mill Cove over there, you got the Upper Fore River, there's the Fore River Bridge, and the power plant, and the Quincy Shipyard over there. And then we're looking over towards the Idlewell section of North Weymouth. And we get some tubers right in here. So the water was deep enough. That looks like a good way to keep cool. There you go. There's the wave runner. It's hard to see looking into the sun. Yeah. So we're pretty close to high tide. Everyone's zooming around in here. Carefree. Hey, Brendan. Is that your backyard over there? I probably already mentioned it, though. A few spots got to 100 degrees today. Hottest day this side of June 4th. June 24th, rather. That's when several of us hit 100 degrees, right? That's cool. More and more and more. Let's go see Steve. T-Rex. Wait, waves. We got waves. Let's watch these waves. Oh, this dock is a rockin'. Don't come walking. We got some rogue waves. A little tiny bit sketchy. Yeah, so are you, TK. A little bit sketchy. Those clouds are kind of curious. There is a front over New England. Weakest possible front. It's gonna activate though. I think we're going out. Steve, where you going? He was just down there staring at me. Come on, Steve. Weird. Where were you going? You thought we were gonna go drink out of the sink? I'm not even gonna put a line on you. I don't see you run out like T-Rex does. Nope, that's not it. There's Mitt and there's Steve. Okay, we got 2 cats and a sunset. Although sunset's not for a while. Maybe I'll be done shooting early tonight, but we always say that rarely works out. His summer coat is coming in. Well, his winter coat. And it's only 95 in the sun right here. Uh-oh. He's prepared to strike. No birds will be lost on my watch. We got tiniest little bunny rabbits down there. And the beach. Wow. Look at all the gulls kind of hanging out on the beach along with the humans. They're pointed into the wind, and that's toward the west, the hot weather direction, Boston Metro. Southeastern Massachusetts, even Plymouth got to 99. Or do I hear 100? I'm not sure yet. But there are the characters, Steve and Mitt. This is Mitt's spot really right here. Steve, you go over to your spot. Mitt, you can assume your spot. Would you like a little cat mint to nosh on? It's like my most successful crop of the last few years. The critters don't eat it, but the cats do. Yeah, and so I'm making an effort. I don't usually make this kind of effort where I weed it all out. A stake, cage, and a mesh. And I'm gonna put some mesh around these ones too. It's usually more work than I care to do, but I want to have a couple of tomatoes of my own this year. Technically, I guess I have lettuce, but it's pretty much gone by. And while I'm thinking of it, in case I forgot before, to mention the thermometer down at OPYC. You know OPYC, right? That's the view. So this thermometer, I love it. That's an original Don Kent Family Thermometer that Doug put in the OPYC when it opened about 30 years ago. And that's the bulb up there to the right, mercury bulb, and it feeds into the dial. And look at those big numbers with, instead of every 2 degrees, every single degree. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, I can't remember what it said, 96, 97? I think we got to 97 anyway in Weymouth. Still tallying the other highs. What do you see? Quite comfortable, wouldn't you say, Mitt? Yeah, so that expression, Tuesdays are good if you can get them, is because we've been on a rhythm of really nice Tuesdays. This one just happened to be the hottest Tuesday of the year. And so it's piano time and time-lapse time. Kind of curious about the sort of cirrus cumulus that developed north of Boston, but no word of any raindrops. Still predict out at this time whether it was 97 or 98 in Boston today, but it was a record. In Cape Cod, what was most impressive about Cape Cod was that Provincetown was in the low 90s. And Steve and T-Rex both chose to go indoors because I think they were a little too warm. So Mitt for the win here at sunset on this wonderful Tuesday. Yeah. All right. You're right, Mitt. Thanks for reminding me. Don't forget to look at the moon. Just coming up over to Maple. We got the sturgeon moon. We got one of the hottest days of the year, and a Maine Coon Cat. Loving this evening breeze. Even purring. Sis, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.